Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today is the 5 best moments of Wrath of the Lich King. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the 5 best moments, or my 5 best moments of Wrath of the Lich King. So obviously I will be doing all of these and not in the right order, of course. But at the end of the day, let's get on to number 1. Number 1 was leveling in the Howling Fjord. Now there was a load of hype built up around about Wrath of the Lich King's release, especially in England. Everyone was queuing outside, everyone was going crazy over Wrath of the Lich King, and me and my friends all got online, got the game, and we uploaded the expansion, and on release day we actually pulled a sickie from school just to play this. Basically we did an all-nighter and it was absolutely amazing. So when we actually first got into the Howling Fjord, it was a sense of surrealness, and it was amazing because of just the way it was all set up. We were in this tiny little room with our crummy little laptops, and I had this one laptop that was called the Lich King. Actually, 2 seconds. I was originally using this laptop called the Lich King, and I still have this laptop even today. This is called the Lich King mainly because whenever I was using my characters, they would only go So little frame by frame. The frame rate was terrible. Everything on it about the laptop was terrible. It was a crummy little Novatech laptop that was just built for a home suite. It had no gaming capabilities at that time. And obviously WoW is very CPU intensive, so this laptop couldn't actually perform all that well. Now bearing in mind the screen is actually broken on this, the laptop in question ran Windows Vista, and I remember using this laptop quite substantially throughout my early years of gaming for WoW. Basically, I would do anything in my power to make this actual laptop get better and just performance-wise work even more better in general. Now, I've really wanted to talk about all this for a long time, hence why I'm doing these videos. And at the end of the day, I found that even though I had a crap laptop to run WoW on this, it was just the sense of just working with my mates, and we were all leveling, we were all exploring the Howling Fjord. The new scenery was amazing, and it was us doing those initial first few quests that I remember so vividly. Now, with this laptop, I basically just started leveling with all my friends, and it was just one of those moments where you turn to all your mates, just stand there, we're sat there with cans and cans of root beer at the time, because for some reason we just drank root beer religiously like crazy. And it was just the total space around it, like playing the game together, leveling together in the same room, talking and all that jazz. I definitely remember the Howling Fjord and just leveling through that zone with all of my friends on the initial launch day, and just us working our way through all the quest lines for Wrath of the Lich King. That being the case, let's move on to number 2. Number 2 was kind of a weird one, and that was finding my very own farming spot. Now, my very first farming spot that I ever found myself and was like, oh, this is a great farming location, was in Zul'Durek. Now, Zul'Durek has like these weird like necropolis things that are like floating in the sky, and at the end of the day, I found it on the one of, and I can't pronounce it very well, it's Volturus. And if you flew right to the top of it, there were loads of little ghouls on there. Now, if you were able to kill those mobs fast enough, they instantly respawned, and I found this to be a great way in order to farm up frostweave cloth without actually getting any competition, because no one else was doing that farming spot. I literally just found the instant respawn, and I was just on my holy paladin, just bubbling, healing, and just destroying all of these little ghouls for frostweave cloth. And then, because even though I was a paladin, I was a tailor and an enchanter at the same time, so obviously I was doing the crafting recipes and then disenchanting them in order to get the dust, and then selling the enchants on the auction house. And that is how I first came about my very first gold farming spot that I found myself. That leads me on to number 3. I very first actually released a video online about 9 years ago on a random channel somewhere, and I'm going to show you a clip right now. It's going to be something very, very old. It's done with that laptop that we showed prior, and it was, yeah, it was something I was very, very proud of. And looking back on the video, I was like, hi, it's Blazo from Thunderhorn Realm, and it gives me a sense of cringe, but that was my very, very first gold guide I ever did about 9 years ago, and it was something amazing because I was watching WoW Taru at that point, and WoW Hobbs doing gold guides and all that stuff, and I was really into it, so I wanted to do my own because I found my own gold farming location. So that being the case, let's have a quick look at the gold farming video.
John, aka Blazo from Thunderhorn Realm, and I'm here to tell you about gold farming. We're going to be here in Zul'Darak, farming in Volturus.
Now, obviously, that is cringeworthy beyond belief, and yeah, it's cringeworthy to like no extent. It's just insanely cringy, and that was when I was about, I would say about 13, 14 years old. I was doing my first gold farming video. I'm currently 26 at the moment of this recording of this video, so for obvious reasons, yeah, I'm kind of a bit older now, and my presentation skills have gotten a bit better, so to speak. So that being the case, let's move on to number 4, and that was the hype of the release. Now, we touched upon this on the first one of number 1, and it was literally just the hype behind the Wrath of the Lich King. It was going through the cinematic of seeing Sindragosa raised by the Lich King, and I absolutely got dragged into it even further. Now, coming from vanilla and then Burning Crusade and then going into Wrath of the Lich King, I had always played Warcraft 3 when I did have downtime or we had server maintenance, and I generally was in love with the character of Arthas. But at the end of the day, I really loved the character of Arthas. It was amazing, and it was just the change and the lore behind him turning into the Lich King that gave me so much hype behind it, and seeing everyone else's reaction when it came to the Lich King has come and he's just raised Sindragosa was absolutely amazing, and I generally loved it. It was the amount of hype. I did not sleep very much on the initial release of Wrath of the Lich King. I was literally playing it consistently. Some nights I would go to bed and I would wake up at like 2 in the morning and start playing before I had to go to school. And then some days I would be like, I'm not feeling well, and then not go to school, of course. But that is something that I'm pretty much a load of you can relate to. But it was literally the hype behind Wrath of the Lich King which drug me into the entire Warcraft verse world, and I was just like, oh my god, it just like solidified my love for the game. Now, obviously, I joined a guild back in Burning Crusade called the Bloodblades, and that was my first guild I ever joined, and that was really, really cool, and I'll touch upon that on the Burning Crusade video of my best moments of Burning Crusade. But with that guild, and I still remember some of these guys even today, I remember one raid that in particular, that was the best raid we ever did. Now, may not be for them, but it was definitely for me. I was on that crummy laptop again, the one that's down by my legs right now, and it was the experience of raiding Ulduar. Now, At the beginning, when you have to get into the siege tanks, I remember so vividly being sat in that room upstairs in my house. I can't obviously show you because you're part of the camera, but it was a very tiny room, and I'm sat there by myself talking to everyone on Ventrilo. That was kind of like a Discord type thing, so you could talk to each other, if you don't know what that is. And pretty much it was me and my best friend at the time, and one of my closest friends even now, Max. We got into one of those tanks, and I had the big gun on the back of the siege tank. And I remember my actual screen was glitching so much that I was just spamming the 2 button to fire bombs, and I didn't even know where they were going. It was just fire them everywhere and anywhere I could just to do that. But there were brief moments where the screen would actually be okay and it would run smoothly on the laptop. And those parts of Ulduar I remember so well, because we had actually gotten into a raid that was primarily one of the best raids going of that time, and we had worked so hard to actually get ready for Ulduar, and it was just the amount of hype behind it, and it was just unbelievably one of the best experiences of raiding in general. I still remember the furnace boss in Ulduar kicking all of our asses, because I was the pally healer, and I remember being shoved inside the belly, and I managed to escape by doing my bubble and dropping all aggro and then just being protected while in that furnace. But I remember one of our characters, Seraphina, I believe, she was a priest, and I remember her dying and then we all wiping, and it was moments like that that really encapsulated the entire essence for me of just my undying love for... I say undying, I don't really raid anymore because I don't really raid with anyone. But that's not the point. Back then I was really into raiding, I loved raiding, and I was obviously a pally healer. I genuinely loved those moments of just getting ready for the raid, doing the raid boss, trying to do the raid boss, dying, everyone regrouping and just going at it again. We were in this like raid group where no one would get pissed or get stressy or anything. We'd just be like, right, let's try again. And we would all group up and we'd try again. I remember we didn't get that far into Ulduar, but the moments that actually we got to really did make the game worthwhile for me. And that is why I loved Wrath of the Lich King. But that being the case, guys, that is my 5 best moments of Wrath of the Lich King. What are yours? Put them down in the comment section down below. Other than that, guys, have a lovely rest of the day, and I shall see you on the next video, which will be tomorrow. Have an awesome day, guys, and I shall see you soon.